Hi, I'm Bella, and I need you to stop what you are doing right now. There is a $4 bottle of shampoo sitting at your local drugstore, and right next to it at the salon counter, there is a $48 bottle with a sleek black label and a French name you cannot pronounce. Here is what your stylist is never going to tell you. The active cleansing molecules inside both of those bottles were manufactured in the same industrial chemical plant, purchased from the same global supplier, at the exact same purity level. You are not paying for better hair. You are paying for a logo and a feeling. The hair care industry is projected to surpass $112 billion in global revenue by 2028. A massive chunk of that number is built on one single lie: the idea that more expensive automatically means more effective. It does not. The chemistry proves it. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you will save you hundreds of dollars a year. And at the end of this video, I am giving you the real alternatives that actually work. Let's get into it. 1. Luxury protein treatment masks. Walk into any Sephora or Ulta, and you will find an entire shelf of protein-infused hair masks. Brands like Olaplex, Kerastase, and Bryogeo are selling treatments that promise to rebuild broken bonds and restore structural integrity at prices ranging from $28 to $92 a jar. The marketing is flawless. The science behind those claims is a completely different story. Your hair is made of keratin, and when you bleach or heat style it, you break the disulfide bonds inside that structure. The brands say their masks rebuild those bonds. Here is the problem. Intact protein molecules are too large to penetrate the hair shaft. A keratin molecule weighs over 10,000 daltons. The cuticle only allows molecules under 500 daltons through. That is published cosmetic chemistry, and these brands never cite it. What these masks actually do is coat the outside of the hair shaft with hydrolyzed proteins, smaller peptide fragments that temporarily fill gaps in the cuticle and improve how hair feels and reflects light. That effect is real. But the hydrolyzed wheat protein in a $92 Kerastase mask comes from the exact same global suppliers as the hydrolyzed protein in a $9 Aussie 3-minute miracle. I spent 6 months rotating between Olaplex No. 8, the Kerastase resistance mask, and an $11 generic hydrolyzed keratin mask. I documented texture, breakage, and shine every single week. There was no measurable difference between any of them. For real protein treatment, Apogee 2-step retails for around $12 and has been used by professional colorists as a pre-bleach staple for decades. The molecule is the same. The price does not have to be. 2. Salon brand. Sulfate-free shampoos. Sulfate-free became the biggest trend in hair care over the last decade, and brands like Pureology, Living Proof, and Virtue built entire empires on it. Pureology Hydrate Shampoo sells for $36 for 9 Oz. That is $4 per ounce. The drugstore sulfate-free alternative at Target runs around $0.40 per ounce. A 10-to-1 price difference for the same surfactant chemistry. The benefit of going sulfate-free is real. Milder surfactants like cocamidopropyl betaine swell the hair cuticle less during washing, which means less color leaches out and less moisture is stripped. That mechanism is genuine. What is not genuine is the idea that you need to spend $36 to access it. Cocamidopropyl betaine, the backbone of virtually every sulfate-free formula on the market, is a commodity ingredient purchased from the same small group of industrial chemical manufacturers: Evonik, Clariant, and Solvay. Every brand, from Pureology to the Walgreens store label, is buying from that same list. The cleansing molecule is identical. Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil Shampoo does the same job for around $11, with a well-formulated humectant blend for dry or color-treated hair. 3. Scalp-activating hair growth serums. This is the category that makes me the most angry. Brands like Kerastase Genesis, Vegamore, and the Inky List are selling scalp serums from $25 to $98, promising to reactivate dormant follicles, reduce shedding by 47%, and visibly thicken hair in 90 days. Those are enormous claims, and almost none of them are backed by independent, peer-reviewed clinical trials. The 47% shedding reduction claim you see on the Kerastase website references an internal brand study, not research conducted by independent scientists with no financial stake in the result. That distinction is everything. An internal study run by the brand selling you the product is not science. It is marketing wearing a lab coat. There is exactly one topical ingredient with a genuine, decades-long peer-reviewed evidence base for hair regrowth. Minoxidil. FDA approved since 1988, it works by widening blood vessels around the follicle and prolonging the hair growth cycle. It is off patent and available in generic form for around $25 for a 6-month supply. I used Vegamore GRO serum every morning for 4 months, $72 a bottle. Beautiful packaging, zero measurable results. I switched to generic 5% minoxidil. 4. Heat protectant. Sprays from prestige brands. Yes, you should always use a heat protectant before styling. The chemistry is real. Film-forming silicones coat the hair shaft and slow heat transfer, while humectants like panthenol retain moisture during exposure. Both mechanisms reduce protein degradation and keep your hair healthier over time. What is not real is the idea that a $26 bottle does this better than a $5 bottle. Moroccan Perfect Defense sells for $26 for 3.4 Oz. Tresemme Thermal Creations does the same job for $5 for 5.1 Oz. The active molecule responsible for the protection in both bottles is dimethicone, a silicone manufactured at commodity scale by companies like Dow and Wacker, sold to every brand in the market at the same industrial grade. A 2020 independent study published in the International Journal of Trichology tested heat protectants across price tiers and found no statistically significant difference in hair cortex temperature reduction between budget dimethicone formulas and prestige ones. The silicone does the work. The brand name does not. Tresemme Thermal Creations contains dimethicone as its primary protective agent and consistently performs identically to products at 4 to 5 times the price in independent comparisons. If you want to spend a little more, Kenra Platinum Silkening Mist at $20 has a more layered silicone blend, but you are paying for marginal differences, not a fundamentally superior product. Save the $21 every time you buy. It adds up to real money across a year. 5. Dry shampoo. From prestige hair brands. This is the one that should genuinely make you put the bottle down. Brands like Amika, Bumble, and Living Proof sell dry shampoos for $20 to $32 per aerosol can. The actual formulation cost of that can, according to cosmetic chemist Perry Romanowski, who has publicly discussed manufacturing economics for over a decade, sits between $0.80 and $2.50 per unit, including packaging. That is a retail markup of 15 to 40 times the production cost. No other category in hair care comes close to that number. And the reason the markup is possible is because the product sounds more sophisticated than it actually is. Dry shampoo works through exactly one mechanism. A starch or clay particle absorbs sebum on the scalp and hair shaft. That is it. The active ingredient in the $28 Amika Perk Up and the $5 Batiste Original is the same compound aluminum starch, octenyl succinate or tapioca starch, sourced from the same agricultural processing facilities globally. There is no prestige version of starch. There is no luxury absorption technology. The particle absorbs oil and does not care which brand name is on the can. Batiste has a 25-year consumer track record, has been independently tested against prestige alternatives repeatedly, and performs identically at a fraction of the cost. Put the $28 can back. Buy the $5 one. Your hair will not know the difference. Your bank account will. Here is the math on what we just covered. Switching from a luxury protein mask saves you up to $80 a year. Dropping the salon sulfate-free shampoo saves $25 to $50. Replacing a $68 hair growth serum with no peer-reviewed data saves you $68 every single cycle. Switching heat protectants saves $20 per bottle. And buying Batiste instead of a Prestige dry shampoo saves $23 per can. That is $200 to $300 per year staying in your pocket for outcomes the chemistry shows are identical.